Begin cold open. Interior Aura Collective, Riley's office. Day. An analog clock hangs on the wall, the steady ticking of the second hand loud and prominent. The sound of a pen clicking to the same rhythm can be heard, barely noticeable at first, but growing gradually louder. Riley sits at his desk, hand resting on his head as he stares off into space. In his other hand, a pen, the source of the clicking. He clicks the pen absent-mindedly. Interior summer house, great room, flashback. Riley lifts a hand to Skye's face, looking deeply into his eyes. Interior Aura Collective, Riley's office, back to scene. Riley shifts in his chair, sitting his pen down on his desk with a sigh. He wiggles his mouse to wake his computer up, turning his attention to the screen. He clears his throat and attempts to focus on his work. Interior summer house, great room, flashback. Riley pulls Skye into a kiss. Soft. Riley pulls back, realizing this is what he's always wanted. Interior Art Collective, Riley's office, back to scene. Riley rubs his face with his hands. He blows out a breath before shifting through a stack of papers on his desk. Interior summer house, flashback. Riley pulls Skye into a more passionate kiss, the two kissing as if their lives depended on it. They move to the couch. Interior Art Collective, Riley's office, back to scene. The phone on Riley's desk rings violently, snapping him back to the present. He shakes away his thoughts and picks up the phone.
Hey. Okay, yeah, I'll be right there.
Riley hangs up the phone. He sighs once again before standing from his desk. Follow him to Interior Art Collective, continuous. A trendy open concept workspace. Other employees mill about, chatting, working. Riley walks down to the end of the hall and stops at an office door. He knocks.
Come in.
Riley opens the door and steps into Interior Art Collective Valeria's office, continuous. Large, indicative of her status at the company. Behind the desk sits Valeria, early 30s, a boss-ass bitch with a bob. Valeria motions for Riley to have a seat in the chair across from her desk as she finishes up her call.
Yeah, they want the entire penthouse. Get with Ricardo. He can check their calendar for walkthrough dates.
Riley sits in the chair. No, I'm sorry.
Great. Great, thanks.
Valeria hangs up the phone and lets out a sigh.
Christina said that you wanted to see me.
Do you remember when I first hired you?
Riley is caught off guard by the question, but recovers quickly.
Yeah, you gave me a chance at a position I had zero experience for.
Because I could see your character. I'm really good at that, as you know. Getting vibes off people and seeing who they really are.
Riley nods, not really sure how to respond.
But I knew from the moment you sat down in that chair 3 years ago, this kid is going to go places.
Valeria picks up a green smoothie from her desk and sips from the straw before continuing.
It's an immense amount of trust to put in someone so young, but I knew you would be up for the challenge. So to discover that trust was misplaced, well, I was, shocked, disappointed.
Riley tenses, still unsure where Valeria is going with this, but not liking the general direction.
Valeria,
I'm not done.
Riley doesn't protest.
Riley, you really hurt me. I saw a lot of myself in you, Maybe you would have eventually taken my place here or gone on to start your own bigger company. But I guess we'll never know.
Valeria turns her computer monitor towards Riley. On the screen is a paused video. Riley's eyes widen in horror as recognition sets in. The video is from a Nest camera that shows the interior of Valeria's summer home from the night of episode 106. Standing in the middle of her living room is Riley and Skye. The frozen frame shows Riley's hand on Skye's face.
Let's watch, shall we?
Valeria presses play on the video. The events play out exactly as they did in 106. Riley pulls Skye in for a kiss. They separate, then go in for a more passionate kiss. Riley watches in shocked silence as the video continues until Riley and Skye fall down onto the couch. Valeria stops the video. Riley searches for the words, something to fix this, but finds none.
I think it goes without saying that you're fired.
In cold open.
Dang.
Crazy. Just Friends, season 2, episode 1. What just happened? Exterior restaurant patio, day. Blake sits alone at a table. Her attention shifts from the menu in front of her to her surroundings. She's anxious, waiting. A few moments later, Skye walks up to the table.
Hey.
Hi.
Skye takes a seat across from Blake at the table. They're quiet for a long beat.
Thanks for coming.
Long.
Skye isn't here for pleasantries, and Blake realizes this, her smile fading, her gaze drops to the table.
I didn't know I was pregnant until 8 weeks.
Skye does some mental math.
So you were pregnant for almost 4 months before you decided to tell me?
I wanted to tell you.
Then why didn't you? We FaceTimed for weeks before you came back. You had plenty of time to bring it up.
Because I have more respect for you than to tell you you're going to be a father over the phone.
Skye looks at Blake like she's crazy.
You're joking, right? You have respect for me? Like, you dumped me to chase a job opportunity. You made a decision for the both of us, and I didn't even get a say.
And I realize now that I made a mistake. I can own up to that. I'm willing to put the past behind us for the sake of our child. Can you say the same?
That's not fair.
Neither is finding out you're pregnant while you're alone 4,000 miles away from everyone you love.
And whose fault is that?
Blake looks taken aback, hurt even. She sits back in her chair. Skye realizes he's gone too far.
I'm sorry. Look, I can't imagine how hard it must have been for you. But for once, I'm begging you to try and see things from my perspective. You've known you were pregnant for 2 months. It's only been a few days for me. Not to mention, you and I had a whole lot of shit to figure out before this.
Skye crosses his arms.
That's why I waited. I know the way I handled things when I left was... I could have handled it differently, more maturely. And if I could go back, I would do everything different. I knew I needed to at least try to fix things with us before I dropped this bombshell on you.
Skye softens at this.
I want to support you, and I want to be there for the baby, but it's a lot. I need some time to wrap my head around all of this.
Blake reaches out and touches Skye's hand.
It's okay. I understand. We can do it together.
Skye pulls his hand away.
No, I can't let you decide this for me too.
Skye looks at his phone.
Okay.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. That was my phone.
You're good.
Blake looks crestfallen, but she nods.
Okay. I have a checkup appointment with my OBGYN in a few days. I'd love for you to be there. I can text you the details.
Maybe the next one.
Skye looks at his phone.
I've got to go.
He stands from his seat, pushing it under the table. He pauses.
I just need time, Blake. But you're not alone in this. I promise.
Blake nods, a small smile on her lips. Skye walks away, leaving her alone on the table. She sighs. Her phone rings. Blake picks up the phone and looks at the caller ID. Julian? Da, da, da. She ignores the call and puts her phone face down on the table, her expression tense. Interior, Riley's apartment, living room, later. Riley closes the door behind him as he enters. He sits down on the couch, slowly, the shock still very present. He stares blankly into space for a few beats. The sound of a room door opening. Riley jumps to his feet, startled, guilty. Tony steps into the living room, shirtless with a towel draped around his shoulders. He stops when he sees Riley.
Oh, hey, babe, I didn't hear you come in.
Yeah, I just got here. I thought you had that job in Marietta today.
Tony shakes his head, drying behind his ears with his towel.
No, they rescheduled, so I was done before lunch. What's your excuse?
Riley falters. His mouth opens, but no words come out. He blinks fast, recovering quickly.
I wasn't feeling good. Valeria let me go. Really, she let me go early.
Tony watches him for a second, towel draped over one shoulder. The pause is barely noticeable, but just long enough for Riley to feel it.
You're a terrible liar. You know that, right?
Riley forces a chuckle, but his body is stiff as a board.
It's nothing serious.
Tony steps forward, placing a hand on his forehead.
You feel a little warm.
Riley flinches, just slightly, at Tony's touch, but covers it by walking towards the kitchen and setting his bag down.
Better get ahead of it. I'll run to the store and grab a few things.
Oh, you don't have to.
Boy, hush. You know the drill. I'm making my Nana's famous chicken noodle soup.
But
The no buts.
Riley exhales softly, watching Tony head back toward the bedroom. He should be grateful. He should be saying something, but instead his fingers tighten around the strap of his bag.
you don't have to do all that.
But Tony's already gone. A few moments later, the front door opens and Skye steps inside. He stops cold when he sees Riley. Riley meets his gaze, but neither of them speaks. A beat too long passes. The air between them is thick, like neither one knows where to begin.
Hey,
Hey,
It's like the air in the room gets thicker. Skye steps forward, but his movements feel measured, like he's testing the distance between them. Riley swallows and looks away first. Skye clears his throat and moves towards the kitchen, grabbing a glass. The sound of water filling it echoes louder than it should. He takes a sip, maybe just to give himself something to do. Then, Tony emerges from the bedroom, fully dressed.
Oh, hey, Skye.
you off?
Skye takes a sip from his cup. Tony grins and nudges Riley.
Someone's got to take care of this one. He's coming down with something, so don't make out with him, okay?
Skye chokes on his drink, sputtering as he coughs into his sleeve. Riley clenches his jaw but doesn't react outwardly. Tony gives Skye a quick, confused look, but ultimately lets it go.
Damn, I didn't realize I was that funny.
Skye wipes his mouth and clears his throat.
Just went down the wrong pipe.
Tony shrugs, turning his attention back to Riley. Tony kisses him on the forehead, a gesture that would normally be comforting, but right now it's like a weight pressing on Riley's chest.
I'll be back.
okay.
Tony grabs his keys from the kitchen counter and walks out the front door. The silence that follows is loud. Riley grips his bag again and turns toward the bedroom, a clear attempt to escape the moment.
You can't keep avoiding me forever.
Riley stops, but doesn't turn around.
Not avoiding you.
Yeah? Because it sure as hell feels like you are.
Riley finally turns around, but his expression is unreadable. Skye tilts his head, studying him.
You don't have to do this, you know.
Do what?
Skye leans against the counter and crosses his arms.
The thing where you act like nothing happened.
A loaded silence. Riley blinks once, slow, before responding.
Nothing did happen.
Skye lets out a breath. Riley shifts his weight, but stands his ground.
We need to move on from it, Scott.
Move on from what? Like you said nothing happened.
Riley shuts his eyes and exhales sharply. Skye softens.
You don't have to pretend with me. You know that, right?
Riley clenches his jaw, eyes flickering, with something unreadable. Guilt, frustration, or maybe even longing, but he pushes it down, steels himself.
We either stay friends or we don't do this at all.
Skye's jaw tightens. He steps closer, not aggressively, just deliberately. He's searching Riley's face, waiting for him to waver, waiting for proof that Riley doesn't really mean it, but Riley doesn't budge. A long, excruciating pause before Skye exhales through his nose, shaking his head in disbelief.
Friends, huh? Right. Okay, Riley.
Riley gives a small nod, like he's trying to convince himself. Then, without another word, he turns and disappears into his bedroom, closing the door with quiet finality. Skye stays standing there for a beat, staring at the door. His expression is unreadable now, too. Finally, he blinks and downs the rest of his drink in one go before setting the glass down a little too hard on the counter. Interior grocery store, later. Tony opens one of the cooler doors and grabs a half-gallon carton of orange juice. He checks the expiration date before adding it to his cart. He crosses orange juice off his handwritten grocery list. Sorry, voices, Frankie.
Tony?
Tony looks up to see Frankie Mendoza, mid-20s, a Boricua with a southern charm. Tony's face lightens up with recognition.
Frankie?
Hey, stranger.
The two distance and enter into a hug that lasts a beat longer than it probably should if they separate.
I almost didn't recognize you with the haircut.
Tony rubs his recently shaved head, a sheepish grin. A sheepish grin on his face.
You know, it's time for a change.
You look good.
The sparks are flying like a motherfucker. Tony realizes this and pivots the conversation.
I didn't even know you were back in town.
I've only been back for a few weeks. Still not sure how long I'll be sticking around, but I wanted to get settled before I started the homecoming tour.
They stand there in a short, comfortable silence for a few beats. They're both nothing but smiles. It's disgustingly endearing.
I've got to finish picking up a few things for dinner.
You want some company? For the shopping, not dinner. Unless you're offering.
Tony laughs a little too hard.
Yeah. Maybe next time on dinner, but I'll take you up on the company.
Cool.
Interior grocery store, later. There are a few more items in Tony's cart. He pushes it slowly down the main aisle as Frankie walks alongside him.
How long has it been?
7 years, 4 months, 27 days. But who's counting?
They both burst out laughing.
I honestly wasn't even sure I would see you again. I thought you would have been moved out to LA or New York to live your best pop star life.
I wish.
What happened with that? You're not pursuing music anymore?
It's only ever been a hobby for me. Has it been? It's only ever been a hobby for me. You know what happens when you actually start taking it seriously? Suddenly people you've never met on the internet are experts on your ability to hold a note. I don't know. Music has always been my escape. I don't know if I'll ever be ready to share that with the world.
I hear you. But you know you got some pipes on you. I don't know why you're acting all shy. Pretty selfish if you ask me.
Not the pot calling the kettle black. This coming from the guy who joined the military because your daddy didn't want you going to art school.
This strikes a chord with Frankie. Tony notices, and the mood shifts significantly.
Shit, I'm sorry. I heard about your dad.
Don't worry about it. Things were never the same between us after I transitioned, and when I deployed, he didn't miss me, so I won't miss him.
Frankie shakes the thoughts away, changing the topic.
How much more you got on your list? You've been in the store damn near all day.
Just one more thing.
They turn into one of the grocery aisles. Exterior grocery store, parking lot later. Frankie stands next to Tony's car as he loads the last of the groceries into his trunk. He closes it.
Well, this is me.
Frankie laughs and pulls Tony into a hug.
It's really good to see you again, T.
You too.
They separate. Frankie pulls out his phone. He taps at the screen a few times and hands it to Tony. Tony looks down at Frankie's phone, a flicker of hesitation in his eyes. Should he be doing this?
Unless you wanted to go another 7 years before the next reunion.
Tony smirks and accepts Frankie's phone. Anyway, entering the phone number and handing it back. As Frankie retrieves the device, something dawns on him.
Actually, what are you doing on Friday?
Tony thinks for a moment, then shakes his head.
Nothing after work. Why?
My friend Paula invited me to a book club meeting she's hosting. I'm pretty sure this is her way of trying to convince me to stay.
I didn't take you for a book talk, girly.
I'll have you know, I used to eat them AR quizzes up in elementary school. But I would really rather not go alone, if maybe you wanted to join.
You want me to read the whole book in 3 days?
You don't have to read the book. You'd mostly be there for moral support.
Obviously, I'm showing up prepared. Are you insane?
Frankie claps and starts to back away from Tony.
Sounds like a yes. I'll text you the details. I believe in you. Bye.
Frankie turns and walks towards his car. Tony's jaw drops. What the fuck just happened?
Hold on.
Frankie turns back to Tony, walking backwards.
See you Friday. And don't even think about ghosting me. I still know where your mama lives.
Frankie flashes a final panty-dropping smile before turning again. Tony smiles to himself and climbs into the car. The end of episode 1.